The other example I like to use is a lot. You'll hear me say this often, because I think it's something that is in the popular imagination. Because The Sword in the Stone was such a big, hit for Disney in the 70s, and most people have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you can go on the Disney Channel. I'm sure you can find it. But it's this, and it comes from T.H. White's The Once and Future King, and Merlin teaches Arthur lessons about life by transforming him into animals. And this is actually how Tomberg talks about the imagination in Meditations on the Tarot too. Like Tomberg makes the point that what really makes the imagination, and the way that Barfield is wanting to talk about the imagination, and the way that MacDonald is wanting to talk about the imagination, and the way Tomberg talks about the imagination, is that imagination in that proper truth-bearing sense, what it does is it gives you the ability to say, I am that. Like, that is what its function is. That's what it does. So that is the way in which Merlin is able to help Arthur transform into a fish, or an eagle, or a hawk rather, or whatever the animal is. It's through the imagination.
Right. And I think nowadays we don't have, like, I would say that maybe our most frequent experience of this reality is when we encounter a really good story and we have a sense that, like, the things the character's facing, we experience them as internal realities and emotions in ourselves.
Yes.
Like, if you read Crime and Punishment, you're like, oh, I murdered somebody, and I'm like, and the guilt of it is like on you in a certain sense. And in some sense, the author has done this great labor for us to kind of give us the breadcrumbs into that mode of consciousness, right? But we've gotten where we're just surrounded by all these, amazing artifacts that do the work for us. So, like, when we come to nature, we've lost sort of the ability to look at nature and have that same sort of identification with our surroundings. But if you were a hunter or something back in the day, if your livelihood depended on you knowing where the animals were going to be, you would put yourself into that same imaginative mode and know exactly what they were thinking and feeling, and you would have this sort of symbiotic relationship with them that we are kind of broken from.
Right. You're entirely right. That's really good. The real problem with what we refer to as egoism is not that the I is too big; it's that the I is too small. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just like, because you keep the I, the I remains identified only with the confines of, like, this, whatever this is.